Did you know that there's a secret Lord of the Rings movie coming out in 2024? That's right, get ready to return to Middle-earth for another epic adventure. While it's not a remake of the beloved Peter Jackson trilogy, rumors are swirling about a whole new story set in the world of the Return of the King. And guess who's back? Elijah Wood and Viggo Mortensen are reportedly returning to their iconic roles of Frodo and Aragorn. But what new challenges will they face? Will we see familiar characters like Gandalf, Legolas, and Gimli? There's so much we don't know yet, but one thing's for sure, this is going to be huge. It's 2003. The fate of Middle-earth hangs in the balance. Peter Jackson unveils the final chapter of Tolkien's epic saga, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Prepare to be swept back to a simpler time. Meet Smeagol, a hobbit leading a harmless life with his cousin Daegul. But destiny takes a cruel turn. Daegul stumbles upon the One Ring, an evil artifact of unimaginable power. Instantly corrupted, Smeagol desires the ring above all else. A vicious fight erupts, and in a moment of horrifying madness, Smeagol murders Daegul, forever staining his soul. Banished by his deed, Smeagol ventures into the desolate mountains. The ring's influence festers, contorting his body and mind. Years of torment transform him into the grotesque Gollum, a creature consumed by the ring's malevolent hold. The true battle for Middle-earth is about to begin. We catch up with Gandalf, the wise wizard, along with Aragorn, Legolas, a skilled elf archer, Gimli, a strong dwarf, and King Theoden of Rohan, a human kingdom. They travel to Isengard, a creepy tower of the evil wizard Sauron. There they find Merry and Pippin, two hobbit friends who were captured by nasty orcs, which are goblin-like creatures. But Sauron, now a prisoner himself, refuses to help. He tries to attack Gandalf but gets betrayed and killed by his own servant, Grima Wormtongue. With the bad wizard gone, Gandalf finds a special magic rock called a Palantir. The group then heads back to Edoras, the capital city of Rohan, to celebrate their big win at Helm's Deep, where they fought off a huge orc army. Unfortunately, their happiness doesn't last. Pippin can't resist the Palantir and takes a peek. He sees a scary vision of Sauron, the ultimate villain who wants a powerful ring and a burning tree that represents trouble for Gondor, another human kingdom. This glimpse of danger forces Gandalf to take charge. He knows Sauron is planning a terrible attack on Gondor's capital city, Minas Tirith. Gandalf grabs Pippin and rushes to Gondor to warn their leader about the coming darkness. Gandalf worries that Gondor is in danger and asks the leader to call for help from Rohan, their allies. But Denethor, the leader, is sad because his son died in battle and doesn't trust Gandalf. Gandalf gives instructions to a hobbit named Pippin on how to light signal fire so Rohan knows that Gondor needs help. The king of Rohan, Theoden, hears about Gondor's trouble and decides to help, even though it's risky for his own people. He gathers his army to ride to Gondor City to fight. Meanwhile, two hobbit heroes, Frodo and Sam, are on a dangerous trip to Mordor, the bad land where they need to destroy the evil ring. They don't know their guide Gollum actually wants the ring for himself. Good and bad sides are about to have a huge battle, and nobody knows who will win. Will a new king be crowned? Can Frodo destroy the ring? You'll have to read the book to find out. But Frodo and Sam's journey gets worse. Gollum wants that ring, and he tries to trick Frodo into thinking Sam is bad. Frodo believes Gollum's lie and sends Sam home sadly. Gollum then leads Frodo to a giant spider's lair. Frodo almost gets eaten but escapes. Gollum attacks again and falls off a cliff, seemingly dead, but the spider finds Frodo and stings him, leaving him paralyzed. Just then, Sam returns, because he's a good friend, and thinks Frodo is dead. Feeling sad but determined, Sam takes the ring. Orcs find Frodo and capture him. Sam follows him bravely and rescues Frodo in a big orc fight. Meanwhile, Rohan's king prepares for war. An elf brings bad news. Aragorn's love is dying. But the elf also gives Aragorn a powerful sword and tells him to become king of Gondor. With a new sword and a reason to fight, Aragorn gets ready to face the bad guys. The fate of Middle-earth hangs in the balance. Sauron's forces are overwhelming, and the Free Peoples need all the help they can get. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli embark on a daring quest into the darkness of the Paths of the Dead. There they confront the Ghost King, the leader of an army cursed to serve Gondor in its darkest hour. Aragorn, claiming his birthright as king, makes a pact with the spectral warriors. He promises to release them from their eternal servitude if they join the fight against Sauron's forces. Meanwhile, despair descends upon the city of Minas Tirith. Faramir, a brave Gondorian warrior, is critically wounded defending the city from the Witch King's army. Denethor, the steward ruling Gondor in the king's absence, is consumed by grief. Misled by reports of Faramir's death, he succumbs to despair and madness. Gandalf, the wise wizard, tries to rally the city's defenses and keep hope alive among the dwindling Gondorian soldiers. But the orcish hordes prove too strong, breaching the city walls and overwhelming the defenders. In a moment of horrifying desperation, Denethor attempts to burn himself and his wounded son Faramir alive. Thankfully, Pippin, a hobbit companion of Gandalf, alerts the wizard, who intervenes just in time to save Faramir. However, Denethor, unable to bear the weight of his actions and despair, throws himself from the city walls, consumed by flames and torment. The tide of battle seems to turn with the arrival of King Theoden and his Rohan army. They charge into the fray, initially pushing back the orcish onslaught. However, their ranks are decimated by the monstrous Oliphants, colossal elephant-like creatures ridden by Sauron's forces. In the ensuing chaos, the Witch King mortally wounds King Theoden. Yet a glimmer of hope emerges. Eowyn, Theoden's niece, aided by Merry, delivers a fatal blow to the Witch King, fulfilling a prophecy that no man could slay him. Though victorious in this duel, Theoden succumbs to his injuries in Eowyn's arms. Just as hope seems to be waning once more, Aragorn arrives with the army of the dead. These spectral warriors, bound by their oath to Gondor, charge through Sauron's forces with unstoppable fury. Overwhelmed and consumed by fear, the orcs are cut down in droves. But their oaths fulfilled, the army of the dead fades away, released from their centuries-long curse. Aragorn, realizing the importance of distracting Sauron from the true threat, leads his remaining forces on a perilous march towards Mordor. This diversion draws Sauron's attention away from Mount Doom, allowing Frodo and Sam to continue their perilous journey. Meanwhile, Gollum, miraculously surviving his fall, launches a treacherous attack on the hobbits. Despite the danger, Frodo manages to reach Mount Doom, the only location where the One Ring can be destroyed. Sam fights valiantly, defending his friend and following him into the fiery depths of the volcano. Inside Mount Doom, they find Frodo succumbing to the ring's ultimate lure. In a moment of weakness, he claims the ring for himself. However, Sam's unwavering loyalty prevails. In a desperate act of defiance, he bites off the ring-bearing finger from Gollum's outstretched hand. The ring, now free, slips from Gollum's grasp and tumbles into the molten lava. Consumed by the fires of Mount Doom, the ring is unmade and Sauron's power is forever broken. In the ensuing struggle, Gollum falls into the fiery chasm, taking the ring with him. Mount Doom erupts in a spectacular display of power, mirroring the destruction of Sauron's dominion. As Sauron's fortress crumbles and the ground swallows the remaining orcish forces in Mordor, a wave of relief washes over Middle-earth. Aragorn's army emerges victorious, the enemy scattered and fleeing. With the threat neutralized, Gandalf utilizes the Eagles, majestic winged creatures, to rescue Frodo and Sam from Mount Doom. The surviving members of the Fellowship are reunited in Minas Tirith, a bittersweet moment tinged with joy and sorrow. Aragorn, hailed as a hero, is crowned King of Gondor, his lineage finally recognized. He unites with Arwen, their love story finding a happy ending. The hobbits, weary but triumphant, return to a warm homecoming in the Shire. Sam finds solace and joy in marrying Rosie Cotton, with whom he builds a life of peace and happiness. Yet the burden of the ring continues to weigh heavily on Frodo. Years later, unable to fully recover from his ordeal, he decides to leave Middle-earth. He sets sail for the Undying Lands, accompanied by Bilbo, Gandalf, and the elves. He leaves behind his beloved friend Sam, entrusting him with the Red Book of Westmarch. Hey, we hope you liked today's video. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel.